Evan is a disease. He's like the human equivalent of long COVID, persistent, exhausting, and still somehow ruining life years later.
I've conditioned my cat to like to be held in the morning. She only gets treats if she, likes to be held like a baby upside down.
Then he really gets angry because Evan threatens to murder fucking Izzy's entire family. She's like, listen, it's amazing. I have my own. His name is Chad. He tells me good morning, asks me about my day, and we have super filthy DMs.
Did you miss me? You miss me?
Boo.
So, not only did I forget my meat at the store, or they forgot to give it to me, honestly, but it's fine. So I had to go all the way back to the store, hour round trip to go get it for my dinner. But then a dick got stuck in my window.
A what?
A dick got stuck in my window.
Okay.
So,
elaborate.
Yeah, it was clay or Play-Doh or something, but the kids made whatever it was into a dick with balls and everything. And we're playing around with it and then slapped it against the window. And then it kind of got stuck there for a hot minute. And then I accidentally hit the button to roll down the window and I tried to stop it and it wouldn't stop. Ta-da! Hello!
No, I got on Zoom and I was like,
sorry.
Okay,
yeah.
10 minutes go by. I'm like,
yeah, no, I was trying to get the dick out of my window.
So then I looked at your location. I was like, what the fuck is she doing?
Trying to get the dick out of my window.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fun times.
Loads, apparently.
Super fun.
And your
times.
car got a load, I guess.
It did. It did. Loads and loads. Loads and loads. Yeah. Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm okay. I'm okay. I gave Miso a bath earlier.
Yeah.
She's fine in the bathtub. It's the drying her part she doesn't like. She tries to escape, and I'm like, girl, but you're wet. And it's cold. And we need to not have you wet and cold.
You're hot, you're wet, and you're cold.
Good Lord. So,
yeah.
Your day was better today?
I was still nauseous, but not like overly where I had to like stop everything. And my head still fucking hurt, like as if I like took a hammer to it.
Also the air quality?
Maybe. I was just connecting
Canada's
it
on
to
fire.
Smashing my head on granite.
I mean, no. First of all, I also said, hey, Ariel, you probably have a concussion. And you're like, it's fine. I'm like, don't know if it's fine, actually.
No, but I was just connecting it because A, what you said made sense, and B, it did correlate like right after. So that's
Someone record the date that she said what I made sense. What?
No.
Fuck, she knocked her bed over. Now she's like in it. I don't fucking know. No, but I was thinking about that too, because like it could be a combo of that and probably also the air quality. Since Canada's on fire.
Totally could be that.
Because your body is weirdly sensitive about that shit.
It's weirdly sensitive about everything. It drives me crazy.
Someone sniffles in your direction.
Well, no, I'm not usually as bad as that, but like I can't take.
Girl, I was being over dramatic.
I know, but it is stupid. Like I can't take regular medications, or like my body thinks it's going into complete failure and meltdown. I can take supplements and stuff and more natural type things, but if I take a real medication, it's like danger, danger, alert, alert, abort, and my whole body shuts the fuck down.
Abort, yeah.
If only
your body has to go to abort.
Which, it almost just makes me curious. I've never actually had to take those, but I wonder where I am so sensitive to medication. If I did take that kind of medication, if my body would abort, or if it would just have a complete other meltdown and not do that, because
I don't know. So I've never had the medication, but I almost had to have the medication.
Yeah.
But my body said abort, abort on its own.
On its own, right.
Well, anyways.
No abort for you.
No. No, but what we're not aborting is the story. This one was picked for you, specifically with you in mind. So this is a me book. Congratulations, everybody. And I think that I nailed it on the picking
Finding
of the
something
thing.
for me.
Because, yeah, sometimes, most of the time, I do really bad.
Sometimes.
So,
Well, I feel like it's either very much in one direction or very much in the other direction. You don't have much middle ground. I have a lot of mid stuff sometimes, but you're in a very one or the other.
there is a trigger warning list at the beginning. On the page, attempted at sexual assault, stalking, hacking, and invasion of privacy, kidnapping, manipulation, consumption of alcohol, violence, power dynamics, and consensual non-consent role play. And the dedication says this book might edge you for 400 pages, but you're the real MVP who finishes the job. And it really edges you for a lot of those pages.
Yeah, listen.
They didn't bang until like 80-90% of the book.
Yeah. So I have some minor gripes with this book. I did overall, honestly, really enjoyed most of it. Mm-hmm. But the steam was minimal. So having that be the start kind of set you up to expect something that wasn't really there.
Because it was also a dedication to your vibrator. So, like, you would think.
Right.
But
so, no. bummer on that one.
I had a couple things, but, you know. Anyways, So, Izzy, newly promoted manager at an upscale department store. And although she's successful, she is in an emotionally abusive relationship with her dickbag boyfriend, Evan, who constantly undermines her confidence and isolates her. Because they've been together for like 3 or 4 years at this point. Mm-hmm. And he's convinced her that she isn't worthy of like love. And Evan in general just fucking sucks. And when they're at dinner, as she's trying to talk to him about her promotion, he's like super not enthusiastic about it. And throughout dinner, he's just mentioning, oh, you need to lose weight. He's ordering her salads and like questioning her choices. And he's also on his phone the whole time. And then he fucking brings up this fitness influencer's Instagram page as like, oh, look how hot she is, bitch. What? Because he literally couldn't fucking care less about her. The actual fuck. And then while she's at this dinner, she locks eyes with like a hottie across the room. And she just like a hottie with a body. Yeah, and some tattoos. And she just like feels like this shift in her, and she feels seen, which, well, I mean, he's staring at her, so yeah, she is technically seen. At work the next day, she meets Cal, who is the new head of security, because there's a lot of thefts happening in these high-end stores, and the stores in general are like stretched thin with their employees. Cal was immediately drawn to Izzy, like when he had seen her at the dinner, because surprise, that was Cal. Oh my god. Because like he knows that she just doesn't belong there because she seems so out of place with this like dinnery place. And she's literally his exact type. When they meet at work, he's not entirely sure if she remembers it was him at the restaurant, but he does clock her behavior because he's like, oh, she's pretending not to remember, but she does. And he is insanely impressed with her. But while watching the security during the day, he sees the way like specific customers treat her like the VIPs. And they cross a lot of boundaries. And bitch, he is not fucking okay with that at all. So when this one man does some shit he doesn't like, he fucking finds out this man's license plate number and files it away for later just in case. He doesn't do anything with it, by the way. So whatever, here we are. But you know, whatever. She goes back to her office to like unleash everything that she held back from unleashing on this fucking customer. And all of a sudden, her friend Amanda comes busting in. First the fuck of all, Amanda, real MVP of this entire fucking book. And after they discuss everything, Amanda wants to talk about the new head of security because holy shit, is he super hot. And he gives off the whole brooding, I'd die for you energy. And Amanda says she would literally fuck him and she wants to be pinned against the wall by that man and be interrogated about whatever he wants. This catches Izzy off guard and Amanda tells her she's super boring. She's like, you know what you need? an AI boyfriend. She's like, listen, it's amazing. I have my own. His name is Chad. He tells me good morning, asks me about my day, and we have super filthy DMs. And it also links to her vibrator. So she has literally no reason to ever speak to a real man ever again. And I felt this is Ariel.
So, okay. I'm gonna, so I
But
had,
I did say if this was a real thing and AI wasn't a plague on the society, this would be great.
and I understand that. And I want to say that this is a book, okay? Because I had a great time. The concept was cute. It was just a story. You know what I mean? It's not like this big ploy to push AI on all of us. It was a
Mhm.
cute little story. Unfortunately, computers kind of are the reality. You
Mhm.
can't even own a cell phone without having AI. Like, come on.
If you
Some
use a
sort
filter,
of,
that's AI.
like, right. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think people
I've had these
realize the
arguments with
amount
people a lot
of,
lately.
right. Do we need the extent that there is? No, but people shouldn't have such a gut
And people should
reaction all the
understand the
time.
difference between this different kinds of AI because there's generative
Right.
AI, which is bad, and then well, I mean, not all AI is good, but there still is
Right.
AI in so many other things, and like
I mean, I'll be the
save the
first to
planet.
admit
But
that certain kinds of AI make me dumb. But, and that
yeah,
is something that we do need to work on as a society. Just side tangent, I got my car taken in the other day for just like a routine crap. And since they go through all the stuff, they like shut my sensors off that like keep me in the lane automatically and stuff. And I'm driving back on like a multi-hour trip back, and I've gotten so used to not really touching my steering wheel much that I'm a bad driver when I don't pay attention now, because it's like, hey, do you need a coffee break? And I'm like, what do you mean? I never see that sign. Oh, am I just not doing well today? What's going on? And no, my sensors were just turned off, so it wasn't doing it for me. But anyways, so I genuinely enjoyed the ride and the concept of this book as a whole. I'm gonna like spoiler alert right now, but when I went to review the book, I saw such low reviews right off the bat with people having issues
with
with
the
the
AI.
fact, yes. But people had reviews and they were just so negative just because there was AI. It not that it
Did
was
they
written by,
not
but just the
read the
concept.
description?
I don't know. But like
Because it's
it was
literally in the
like
description.
as if it was like making AI sound like a good thing. Like it was all just like, oh, we're having like a proponent of AI. You know,
Here's the
what
thing,
like
not to
oh.
spoil it for everybody, literally AI doesn't do shit in this book.
No.
It's like 99% of the time Cal with the 1% the AI.
Right. But and it's just the concept. It's cute. It's a stalker little thing. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I I don't know.
Have
It just
whimsy in
made
your
me.
life, guys.
It's like,
It's a book.
if that's your biggest problem in 2026 right now, I want to be you.
Yeah, right?
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Amanda, by the way, gives her literally no choice that she needs to sign up for this and that she really, really needs to dump her boyfriend Evan because
Dude,
he's a
I
piece of shit.
fucking love her.
She even clocks how Evan had treated her at dinner without fucking Izzy even saying anything and tells her, like, when's the last time Evan ever made you feel loved and not just convenient? And then Cal knocks on the door and it's so funny because she goes, oh, is that my future husband? Fucking Amanda's so funny. I also enjoy the whole time throughout this, Cal makes sure that Izzy eats. It's a huge thing because of the difference between Evan and Cal. He ends up taking Izzy's phone because he says he needs it to set up multi-factor authentication.
And of course,
Bitch,
she
that's not what he's
recognizes
doing.
that this is this man and all that jazz. And
Yeah. He's not. He's copying her phone so he can see everything she's doing. And he sees
put a
that
tracker on her phone.
she has downloaded the app for Obsess AI. So instead of
He
talking to an
basically
AI,
went Insta obsession. He saw her and he was intrigued. And he was like, okay, wow, I'm slightly interested, but I'm not really looking for anything, so I'm just gonna whatever. But then he saw her being treated like crap, so then it was like instant mama bear protection, and then he found out that she was gonna be basically the manager of where he was gonna be working, and now he's like, he is all in. She is his next target. He's hers. That's it. Done deal. It's done.
Yep.
It's done.
Yep. So he's gonna basically make it so
Insta
she's
obsession.
talking
See,
to
we
him.
shouldn't have insta love as
Insta
a
obsession.
category. We should have insta obsession.
Okay.
I vote for that.
Okay. That's fine. But she's gonna think it's AI, but she's really gonna be talking to him. She finally caves in to use this AI, especially after she gets a text message from her boyfriend Evan. Just so you know, every time I mention Evan, my notes just go from her boyfriend Evan, who is a piece of shit. So if I say that a lot, that's because I mean it. That he's not coming over and he doesn't ask any questions about her, like how her day was or anything. So she goes through everything for this AI app, and honestly, the whole time she's answering questions, she has Cal in mind. And she's not going to openly admit that she has him in mind, but she basically creates him in this app. And then she starts
talking. It's just a fantasy. There's no harm.
Right? She starts talking to the AI, and it's very smooth. She does not know that it's Cal. Then as she's in the middle of this really nice conversation, her dumbass boyfriend comes by because he forgot his gym bag there. And he literally just stopped by and left, but he's such a dick when he's there and says more like how this was such an inconvenience for him to come out that way. And why doesn't she just move into the city like he's talked about all this other time? Fucking get fucked.
It's not like you're inviting her to move in with you. Well, thank goodness.
Yeah,
but
exactly, right? And you know, whatever. She does not want to do that. Cal obviously sees everything that she put in and in real time, like he's watching her like do all this information, and he realizes it's him, and he's like, no, actually I can't be that delusional thinking that it's me, until she starts to type in the name, because she names the AI Caleb, but she originally starts at
Cal and then like stops
Eb.
and then, like, thinks Eb.
Yeah, and we do get some really good chapters that are strictly the conversation between Izzy and Cal, and the only issue that I had was sometimes the formatting was off, where the responses from her were on the wrong side.
On the wrong side, and it looks like the wrong person is speaking and saying the
Correct.
wrong things. Yeah,
So,
I had that problem as well.
It didn't happen a lot, but it happened enough.
No, but
that
it happened
I was a little
enough
irritated.
that was a problem of mine. I feel like it just needed to have a run through, even just a beta reader to run through and clean it up, and it would have really helped to keep it a light, fun read.
Yeah. Every morning, though, she gets a text message from Caleb, wishing her a good morning, making sure she eats. And of course she doesn't, because she has basically been running off of caffeine for so long that her body doesn't apparently need breakfast.
And she's been conditioned to...
That's
like,
why,
you're too fat, basically, by fucking douche canoe.
Because Evan was in her mind, because she's gained 30 pounds in 3 years. Yeah. When she gets to work, guess who has breakfast for her?
Douche canoe, long COVID.
Cal, and he's basically making her eat breakfast. They go about their day, and he has to follow her around for a few days just to get used to everything. And Amanda ends up catching up with her and is like, how's the AI thing going? Because she knows that she used it. And when Amanda looks through everything, she realized she basically just programmed Cal in there. Amanda, though, thinks this is fantastic, but tells her she is not using it right. This is just wholesome shit. You need to spice this up. And Amanda sends a really sexy message to Cal.
Like a dirty,
to Caleb
message, yeah.
Right, which Cal obviously receives while he's at work, and it throws him off, and he realizes that he's got to make some decisions, because he can't get that text out of his head. It's just AI and whatever.
He can't let the AI respond to that.
Right,
because he did program it that if he was non-responsive, so it would respond. Still get an automatic response, but he didn't really have to use it.
Keeps obsessing over everything. I mean, she's like really attracted to Cal. Then she gets a text message from Evan asking her to go to dinner because he wants to talk to her about something. Surprise, surprise! When she goes to this fucking dinner, first of all, he insults how much perfume she's using and basically says it counts as a second passenger, which, what the actual fuck is wrong with you? And then they get to this restaurant. It's a health food restaurant. He like shits on her because she goes to eat the bread that's not actually bread. And he drops it on her that he hired a nutritionist and like personal trainer to work with her to help her lose her weight, which is insane. And then, so she ends up like,
it gives
he always orders for her
the vibes of that dude who hired the company to clean out the attic of the dead father stuff, like the room. Like this is not cool.
This is not it. Yeah. And so like she ends up begrudgingly eating all the things that she gets, and I mean, almost cries. Cal obviously has tracked her to this restaurant. He does get a little jealous seeing her get into Evan's car, but at the same time, he's thinking, man, she is way too fucking good for this man. And he even knows that she wouldn't willingly go to the stupid restaurant. And yes, he figured out how to get the automation. He also realizes that there's a function for voice calls and video functions, and he could figure out how to change his voice to like have these conversations. And then he is accessing her phone and her emails, and he sees the email about working with her fitness and nutrition goals, and he is pissed because he's like, she does not need any of this shit, and he is feeling rage. But then he starts thinking more about her and how it would be if she was his, and then he starts to get really turned on about it. And he sees her being dropped off back at work because obviously like the douche nugget had taken her out to lunch at this restaurant and dropped her back off at the fucking work as if peace out bitch, goodbye. And she starts screaming in her car because he could watch her through all the security cameras. And you know, he's thinking about sending her a message to check in, but then she masks back up and she messages Caleb because she just wants to vent to somebody. So she just decides to vent.
Well, it's
to her AI.
It doesn't matter. It's just AI.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like it matters. It's not like it's somebody she actually knows.
Yeah. And then he does his best to reassure her that she's great. He's super into her. She's so beautiful. She sends photos to the AI to be complimented. And he talks about her moans because the message had been like, I wonder what kind of a moan would you like to hear from me? And he goes, oh, by the way. And he really wants to know what her moans sound like. Okay. Izzy's rational brain is screaming at her about boundaries, but these messages are like really fucking her up. And she realizes this is kind of her rock bottom. And she's deciding what to do because if she tells her whole family about Evan, obviously her family is... So first of all, her family, super Catholic, and her brothers will want to kill him. They already don't like him, but like if she tells them all the stuff he is actually doing, they might go homicidal and murder this man. And Amanda obviously is going to scream to dump him, but this is why she feels so safe talking to Caleb, because she needs that outlet to be able to talk about this, and he's not real as far as she knows. And she now also wants to try to find a way to subtly...
I think some of it is also her family. She's a little removed enough, and they have such strong opinions that I think she just doesn't want to deal with the backlash.
Yeah, I mean, the reality will hit hard.
Yeah.
But like us,
like they don't like him anyways.
Right. And here's the thing, you and I been there, done that, we know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I felt a little bit too much of a connection with Izzy throughout this, and I was like, oh, help. Yeah. Help me. Yeah. Yeah. Now, though, she wants to try to find a way to subtly ask Amanda about the vibrator portion of the app thing. But before she can continue to spiral, she gets a text message from her brother that they're going to church on Sunday, not to be late. And she realizes this could actually be a really good break for her. But before she can go to sleep, she's just super keyed up, and she masturbates to the thought of Cal. It didn't originally start as Cal, but he was in her brain. Yeah. And when she goes to work the next day, literally runs directly into Cal. Mm-hmm. Like as a wall. Pretty much every single time. He always makes her breakfast, and she even asks him if they're going to play like intervention breakfast every morning, and he just looks at her. Mm-hmm. And she tells him, listen, this morning, can't do a full review of security stuff. I have a very, very important client. She's been like avoiding going over the security shit with him this whole time. And sure fucking enough, she does have these VVIP clients. These very important. But Cal can sense that she's super tense about this, and even says like if she needs help, just to say out his name, because he can see and hear her through the security cameras, and he'll just come help out. Well, the dude that comes in, piece of fucking shit, and he gets super handsy with women, so they usually just pair him up with men, but he asks for the manager, and of course that's Izzy. And she comes down, guess who fucking else comes in? Goddamn stupid Evan. And Evan doesn't even fucking look at Izzy or greet her at all.
I get it on one level, absolutely, but also, like, bro, she should have dumped his ass like forever ago.
Mm-hmm. We can say that as an outsider.
I know, absolutely. That's why I said I understand,
Yeah.
but also.
Yeah, yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't even fucking look at her, doesn't greet her because he's a slimy piece of shit. And he
Mm.
tells Izzy he's come to pick her up for lunch and that he's taking her to her first dietitian appointment in front of all of these people. And he doesn't even stop at that because he starts talking to the VIP about how, oh my God, she's finally getting serious about her health. And he booked her an appointment with a dietitian. And it's just such fucking bullshit. And they
Go
start
fucking
like
suck a
all of
dick.
this. And she finally just says, listen, I'd love to go, but I have a meeting with Callahan. And sure enough, fucking Cal comes out
Oh, look, I said his
and
name. Bye.
puts his hand on her lower back and like walks her out.
Leads her
And
away. Bye.
she's thinking like Evan has literally never fucking crossed a line like this before. Like he's usually, well, she says like he's really
at her
mean.
workplace, right? Yeah.
Right. He's usually really mean in general, but he's not this mean in front of other people. He like usually puts up the nice dude act in front of people, but he's never been like this callously
has nothing
mean.
really to do with her workplace.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Sure, but not really.
Right. Yeah. So she doesn't want to cry in front of Cal, so she calms herself down and she thinks that, you know, Cal should go back to work because he doesn't need to be here, but he doesn't. And he just shuts the door and she cries and just sobs uncontrollably in front of this man. And he tells her that she did nothing wrong and that they're all fucking assholes who think that they can do whatever they want and never have to answer for it. And she deserves better. And she tries to rationalize it, saying he was never always this way. We've all fucking been there. Like, ladies, I promise you, he has always been that way. It's called love bombing. Love bombing, 1,010%. But then she does start to talk about the shitty things going on with Evan, like he restricts her eating and all this other stuff. Cal is pissed, and he opens up that he was engaged once and it ended really badly, so he knows what it is to be in a shitty relationship he was cheated on. And then Amanda is banging on the door, and she comes in and she goes, oh, well, I'm sorry for interrupting. Cal ends up leaving. So Amanda comes in, Cal leaves, and she's like, yo, the fuck is going on? I need every single detail possible. And so Izzy explains stuff that's going on, and Amanda says, listen, Evan is a disease. He's like the human equivalent of long COVID, persistent, exhausting, and still somehow ruining life years later, which is so fucking funny. And she even says if they check the CDC website right now, there's a booster shot specifically for Evan's bullshit.
Oh my gosh. I love her whole thing. She even says something later that Izzy spent 3 years with a human potato chip.
I have that.
Leaving you with nothing but disappointment and regret. Like, she had great
lines.
Great quotable lines to compare for Evan here.
Yeah. But she's telling her she needs to end this, but Amanda has a better idea. Revenge.
I mean,
they're going to go out that night, so that's what they're going to do. They're going to get shit-faced. Izzy ends up opening up about the fact that her and Evan haven't had sex in a really long time, and she's literally had zero desire to even start at it again. And if he literally touched her, she would be so repulsed by him touching her. And this is when Izzy gets the courage to ask about the integration with the vibrators. Amanda asks, she goes, well, have you gone full filth mode yet? And she goes, no. And Amanda goes, oh, okay, hold on. Here you go. And shows us. And Izzy's like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is wrong with you? But Amanda tells her, you need to start getting crazier. And then in walks fucking Cal to this bar because he got asked out by people at work, and he's the one who suggested this bar because he obviously knows where Izzy was going to be. So him and all his coworkers join Amanda and Izzy, and man, those fucking margaritas are hitting her hard. She's doing the...
Give me one margarita, I'ma open my leg. Give me 2 margaritas, I'ma give you some head. Give me 3 margaritas, I'ma put it in my puss. Give me 4 margaritas, I'ma put it in my tush. Give me 5 margaritas, I'ma get some fun. Give me 5 margaritas, I'ma put it in your puss. Give me...
But he says he's... For Caleb only, yeah. Cal says he's going to bring her home because she has had way too much to drink. He does not explain how he knows her address because she asks, but honestly, she's so drunk that she would not remember any of this. So she doesn't even like question it at all. She goes, okay. He brings her home, takes really good care of her. She starts to fucking undress in front of him, and he's being a good boy and like trying not to do anything as badly as he wants her. And he ends up sleeping on her couch because obviously she like begs for him to sleep in her bed, and he's like, no. So then, because he says no, she starts texting Caleb because she's horny and she really wants to come. So they have a full-on sexting conversation. But of course, right at the end, all of a sudden it just stops. Because either A, she fell asleep, or B, her phone died. Because when she wakes up in the morning, her phone is dead. So two things could have happened. Either she fell asleep, which is probably the point, and then her phone died because she forgot to plug it in. When she wakes up, though, she realizes, uh-oh, and she has a fucking huge hangover. So she tried to remember what happened last night, and then she looked at her phone and saw all the fucking messages. And then she sees Cal in her kitchen, who is also shirtless. And then she's panicking because she woke up naked, and she's thinking, oh my god, did we do stuff? Like, what the fuck happened? And she asks him what happened, and he explains that she was super drunk. He drove her home, got her address from her employee file. Great lie, Cal. And she thanks him for everything. And he says that, you know, you don't have to thank me for being decent to you. She sees the text messages from Amanda, freaking the fuck out. This is Ariel. And she finally texts her back, letting her know she's all good. Then she looks at all the messages between her and Caleb. Uh-oh. They're getting ready to head out. They need to take Cal back to his house so he can, you know, change for work because she doesn't have clothes for him at home. She does make a comment that obviously he needs clothes and maybe he could fit into Evan's. But first of all, Cal's like, absolutely the fuck not. And which then turns her into talking about her clothes and her weight. And he goes, excuse the fuck out of me? No. And she puts herself down, and he proves her wrong by picking her up and making her say that she is not heavy at all. He explains to her that he does not like Evan because of what he does to her. And she's trying to figure out, like, why does it even matter? And obviously he can't tell her, you're mine, you belong to me. And
you belong with me.
Right? He instead just tells her that she deserves better. He does learn, because they have to head out to go get himself clothes. She has one flaw. And her flaw, she's a terrible fucking driver. Gosh. She's actually a terrifying driver. But you know what? It's okay. He can overlook this. Because one day, she will just be his passenger princess. She learns he drives a motorcycle, and it's like a death machine to her. And she tries to give him her Nona's rosary because it's supposed to protect him. But he tells her to keep it because she needs all the help she could get. Yeah. They get to his apartment, and she decides that instead of going into the office to go over security briefs, why don't they just do security briefs here? Because fuck my life, why not? And she sees he has a very tiny bed. He has like a twin-size bed because he's used to sleeping on cots from the military. The proximity for all this, though, is really getting to her. And so as they're going over all this, like all the security stuff, he explains to her that like holiday seasons, which aren't for like 9 more months because Christmas is 9 months, but they want to prepare ahead of time. Like that's where things get for more bigger and bigger, like thefts happen. So they want to like prepare for that. He reassures her, hey, you know, you're not alone, but we are also not dealing with amateurs. Amateurs? Amateurs. Why did I say amateurs? Amateurs. She talks about like her holidays coming up, and she is going to be spending it with her family at church. So it's Easter. And afterwards, there's like a big family dinner. Cal says it sounds really fun. She asks about his family and learns his mom's dead. And his mom died when he was a kid from alcohol, and his dad lives in Pennsylvania. He keeps super busy. He doesn't really see him or talk to him too much. So while his dad is religious, but they're not Catholic, And Izzy says, well, maybe he should still just call his dad and they could just like talk. She says that maybe he could go have fun, but she kind of puts her foot in her mouth a little bit. But I was like, oh, why don't you just go have fun and go drinking? And he goes, I don't drink because of my mom. And she goes, oh my God. I'm so sorry, girl. He literally just told you this. And then she goes, listen, and she apologized, and he tells her, like, you need to stop apologizing. And she goes, it just slips out. And she goes, ugh, first you say this, then Amanda says this, and then Caleb says this. And he goes, who's Caleb? She goes, my therapist.
No.
It's almost a therapist for you, girl. It's not quite a therapist, but it's close. And then Evan starts calling her. And she answers it, and he's, of course, freaking the fuck out. You never called me back, and she's been ignoring him, and you missed your appointment yesterday. And she does put her foot down and says she's not going because there's nothing wrong with her weight. And, of course, Evan's like, ugh, I'm not talking to you right now, like, when you're like this. And he hangs up. Bitch, shut up. And Cal is very proud of her for standing up for herself because she's never done that before to him. And she says it kind of feels weird standing up for herself, which... it does, doesn't it? It feels really weird when you stand up for yourself against these people. And he clocks her and says, you like it when people take care of you and like show up for you and tell you you're worth more than you think. And you don't get that with him. And then he kisses her. And of course, as they're kissing, all of a sudden she goes, oh, fuck my life. Like, I have a boyfriend, like,
and an AI boyfriend.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't say the AI boyfriend part.
Oh,
yes.
wow. No.
Right. And she's like, I'm taking advantage of how nice you're being to me. And she runs out of the apartment and goes straight home. She ends up texting Caleb and she apologizes for passing out on him. She admits about kissing Cal and basically talks to Caleb about Cal. And obviously she still does not know that this is Cal on the other line. She talks about her actual fantasies of someone being in control, someone being chased down, caught, pinned. She wants to be caught, pinned down. And of course, this is Ariel. This whole section, I was like, hey. It turns super sexual. And he tells her to call him, you know, the AA part. And, you know, Cal knows this is a mistake, but he literally cannot fucking stop himself. And he talks her through masturbating and basically talks all about her fantasies in one to get her to come. Yeah. Izzy is going to dinner with her chaotic family, and it is very chaotic, but it is also really nice to eat together. My only complaint is I understand they like kind of half translated what the grandmother was saying with other people saying it. I just also wish there was a little translation feature so I could understand what she was actually saying. I understand, because it was all in Italian. And I understand, like, underneath, they'd be like, oh, she said this.
Right.
But, like, they could have been lying. Which a couple of them
but
were,
I mean, I hit the button to translate, and it was pretty...
I didn't have a translate. I don't have a translate button on mine. I think I'd have to... Well, I wasn't on my Kindle.
You highlight it, and you... Oh,
see,
on the
I
Kindle
didn't have
app.
to highlight it.
Yeah, you highlight it, and you press the translate button. But, like, I did it, like, for the first two, and it was accurate to what they were saying, so I stopped, because they're going to tell me, so...
Okay.
Because I do that for a lot of things. Like, if it's going to tell me, great. If it's not, you know.
Yeah. They end up talking about Evan at this dinner, and nobody in her family likes this man. And they've never even met this man in person. They just know all about him. She ends up not even really wanting to talk about him at all. Like, everything just keeps getting... Because everyone's like, I fucking hate it. Da, da, da. But everything with her whole family really gets her thinking about Evan. And she has the realization that the last man who looked at her as if she was the most beautiful thing in the world was not her boyfriend. Her brother Mateo comes in and just lets her know that while everybody is giving her shit, they're just very worried about her. And she asks how he knew that Sophia was the one. So Sophia is his wife. And he just says that he dated other girls, realized that they just weren't meant to be, and everything was just really hard. But as soon as he got with Sophia, it was just easy and he didn't have to think twice. And she makes him feel special. And if she's questioning whether Evan is the right guy, then he is not. Because when you meet the right guy, you won't be able to question everything. The first person that pops into her head is Cal. She actually ends up talking with Caleb, saying she wants to break up with Evan, but she just doesn't know. Like, it hit her at dinner, and she just talks about how she's thinking of Cal, and maybe it is too quickly. What if she's wrong, and he's just being nice to her because he feels bad? But she is going to call Evan to set up a time the next day to break up with him in her office. And of course, Cal's sitting here like, oh my God, because he wants to tell her to take her time with Cal, but he's also like, bitch, hurry the fuck up and like date me, dump your bitch ass boyfriend, and like come over here. But she's getting really bold. She's coming into her own. So he decides he's going to give her app a little upgrade, and he's going to send her the vibrator that he can control with his phone. And he just can't wait. Izzy does end up actually breaking up with Evan at her office, but he gets so fucking aggressive, and he tries to rape her in her office.
It like escalated real fast.
It escalated so fast. He beats her. And then, of course, thank fucking God Cal has eyes, like, everywhere. He did come in just barely in time to stop him. Like, Evan already had his, like, pants down. And Izzy's knocked the fuck out. Like, she's out. He was just going to take advantage of her while she's out. He ends up grabbing Evan, knocks him out with one punch because Evan's a weak-ass bitch. And it only took one punch. And he checks on Izzy. Izzy's obviously unconscious. He busts into Amanda's office, and obviously Amanda is a G because she goes, what the fuck happened? What did you do? And he goes, nah, bro, it wasn't me. It was Evan. Also, I'm going to take care of her. I was a licensed paramedic, so he's going to take care of her, which he does. 4 days later, Izzy's in her apartment. She's just like super numb for everything. She took time off of work because duh. Evan didn't actually penetrate her, which is great. And the district attorney's office wants her to bring up charges against him for attempted sexual assault. But they need her to testify. And she just doesn't know if she wants to do that because she doesn't want to sit in open court reliving the day, which I do understand. And that is definitely such a hard thing for victims to do. I fully understand that.
Yeah.
But she hasn't told anybody anything, and she's avoiding the calls from the DA, and then she starts thinking about Cal, and he's been keeping such a close eye on her this entire time that she's been recovering, and he's been so patient and respectful, hasn't pressured her. Evan did call and leave a voicemail, but she won't even listen to it at all, and she really hasn't touched her phone. Cal, on the other hand, would have stayed at her apartment, but he is trying to give her space because he's also dealing with this luxury crime ring that he was hired to deal with, which I feel this plot point was so hidden in the background, I forgot that was the whole point.
Well, they brought it up a lot, but it wasn't the central focus point. So, like, they brought it up along the way, but it was very background to the stalker romance side, which I was okay with. And they had enough nuggets in that it kept it going so you didn't completely forget about it in theory. But if you were in it for that kind of stuff, then you might have lost it.
I wasn't.
Like,
I just was like, I forgot that it was the plot point as to why he is even literally here at this thing, and that's what he's supposed to be doing in the background of everything going on. That I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There's a luxury crime ring going on. Anyways, so Cal installs cameras every corner of her apartment. She only knows about the one on the outsides, not the insides. But he just wants to know that she is safe. So he also decides to research Evan and gets a full background check. Turns out he was fired from his finance job and hasn't had a single job since him and Izzy have been together, like, since the very beginning. But he's still making a lot of money. Now, here's the thing. He should have known at this point. And I mean, we all know at this point what's happening, who the person is behind all this theft. And I just think he got so distracted by the woman that he, for some reason, didn't put 2 and 2 together.
I had the tinglings when he showed up with that other weird guy at the place. But it wasn't like, I was like the book, more focused on the stalker AI boyfriend.
Right, but even so even if you didn't get it to that, when you got to this point...
Oh, absolutely.
Because this was not even when he connected the dots.
I think he started to question, but it wasn't, like, set in stone because...
I'm just saying...
he didn't have any reason to think that he was connected in any way.
But if...
he didn't want to just be outright blaming somebody just because he didn't like him.
Right, But then when he learns, it's just, there was so much pointing to this was Evan that it was very blaringly odd, whatever. So he also learns that Evan has multiple women in rotation. And and at this point, he's like, I don't understand why Evan is so possessive of Izzy and why he's dragged her through the mud for years and snapped when she tried to leave. Then he listens to the voicemail from Evan, and he's just fucking gaslighting her, trying to manipulate her. So he blocks his number from her phone. He also sees she didn't answer a call from the DA's office. And I mean, he knows why, because her confidence isn't where it should be. And then he gets a thing through his ear pierce that they have a situation. And there are two idiots down at the store who were trying to rob, and they got caught. And so now they need to figure out what the fuck's going on. They're trying to get information out of these two, and that they know they're working for somebody. And like, listen, y'all need to start talking, or you can take a chance with your DA's office. They didn't promise they weren't going to call them. They just said this. And they said they don't know much. They just get orders to go to stores, collect information, and it's always anonymous. And then they call the precinct because obviously Cal's not fucking promising shit. Then he gets a text from Izzy, but she's texting Caleb, and she hasn't talked to Caleb in a week, so here we are. Izzy is apologizing for disappearing, saying she broke up with Evan, but he also attacked her, and doubts are creeping in because she finally listened to his voicemail. And, Caleb's telling her, like, listen, you could have fucking broken up with this man at a 5-star fucking restaurant with a PowerPoint presentation, and it still wouldn't have changed the outcome. Like, he's dangerous and manipulative. And she wants to believe everything, and she's feeling really guilty about Cal taking care of her, and she's just really fucking confused. But at least she's opening up to somebody, and she decides that she needs to have a talk with Cal face to face to figure out what the fuck they both want. And she ends up telling Caleb she got his gift. She just hadn't been in the mood for anything, but maybe when she feels in more control, she'd be super down for it. She does eventually wake up feeling super great, and Cal's in her fucking house making her breakfast. She doesn't know how he got in there because she didn't give him a key. But she's not even questioning it. And she's looking at him, and she's not thinking about food anymore. I wouldn't either. He's in my house shirtless. She tells him that he does not need to keep doing this, and he tells her she's not a burden. And she goes to speak to Cal, and he doesn't rush her, and she admits that she doesn't know what this is, but she doesn't really care. She's a little confused about a lot of things, but she wants to be around him, and they kiss. And Cal, so excited, because he knows how hard this was for her. And they make out. And he tells her that his hands are hers and she can choose where they go. But when she's ready, he'll take all the control. And that's exactly what happens. And she starts going all around her whole body with his hands while they're making out. She admits she wanted to lick his tattoos, but he wants to explore every single inch of her. And she makes a joke that there's a lot of inches to explore. And he does not like that joke at all. And he says, you are mine now, and I'm not going to let you put yourself down like that. He admits that he has wanted her since the first day he saw her at the steakhouse. Ariel's like biting herself over there.
Look, I feel like there was so much buildup and so much potential.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, we just didn't get that side of it.
And that was the sad about part. It. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. He knew that she would be his at the stakeout, and then he eats her out until she comes. And she begs him for his cock, but he says not tonight. Because he wants to savor this. In all reality, he doesn't want to fuck her until he tells her about him being Caleb, but whatever. She also makes him come afterwards. So, cool. He showers with her, which was really sweet. They clean each other. It's not sexual, just intimate. Then he gives her food and wine, and she starts bawling because she has never been treated this well, which is so sad. But like this like sends her over the edge. It is very sweet. She does ask him to sleep with her in the same bed, but he says no. She eventually keeps begging, and he does give in. They talk about his tattoos. She asks if he always wears his dog tags, and he says he usually does, but he doesn't want to anymore. And he actually hands his dog tags over to her to wear, which was really cute. After she's asleep, Cal spiraling. Because he hasn't told her everything, and he feels really, really bad about it because obviously he's kind of manipulating her a little bit.
Just a tad.
Just like a little bit. It's not like
just
an aggressive
like
amount of manipulation.
Relationship.
It's fine.
And her entire relationship with an AI.
Yeah, well, that. He gets a notification from an old army buddy of his who owed him a favor, and fucking Evan's also trying to call Izzy again. He reads the transcript of the voicemail, and it's literally him threatening her, which is crazy. The next morning, he like wakes up, tells Izzy, yo, I gotta go patch up a security hole. And they just talk a little bit more about each other's likes, dislikes, everything. They try to learn more about each other. And she hands him another rosary that her Nona specifically gave her to give to him. She tells him that he is taking it. He is not going to like refuse this. His alarm on his phone goes off again. And as much as he wants to stay there, he can't. She, though, is going to be meeting up with Amanda to go have fun. And guess what? They're going to get shit-faced again. And she talks about Cal some more, and she admits that they hooked up, but they didn't have sex. And Amanda says, listen, I have a vested interest because you were with a human potato chip for 3 years, which is still funny. And she tells Amanda that they're taking it slow because he wants to experience their firsts slowly and savor them. Gag me, by the way. Amanda suggests that she brings him to her family's Sunday dinner. And she kind of doesn't want to do it because her family is fucking insane and judgmental. But she invites him anyways, and he really does want to go. And she's never brought a man to her family's before, but whatever. And as they're at the bar, Amanda goes through her purse, thinking it's her own to get chapstick, is not, finds the vibrator, and insists that she needs to use it that night. So she heads home, messages Caleb, talking about how drunk she is. She wants to use the toy. She's starting to feel herself. She wants to explore this and become more in tune with her own body. And she is going to video call him, and he walks her through the whole thing using the vibrator. And it's really hot. But throughout the whole thing, he makes her say nice things about herself. And if she doesn't, he turns the vibrator off. The craziest amount of edging. But it's like conditioning her to like herself.
Conditioning, yeah.
Which is a little conditioning, yeah. When she comes, though,
I've conditioned my cat to like to be held in the morning. She only gets treats if she, likes to be held like a baby upside down.
What? I hear you.
So now she's just like, hey.
That's so funny. When Izzy comes, though, she says Cal instead of Caleb. And that drives Cal fucking nuts. Because she's technically talking to Caleb. When it comes time for dinner with her family, she messages her family that she broke up with Evan. She's bringing another person to dinner. Please be nice. Of course, her family is like super skeptical about everything, saying they're going to watch him. And like, we're keeping an eye on this man. The dinner with her family goes super well, by the way. They love Cal, which is not hard to do because he puts everything on for this family. He's just being a good person, which I guess is not. The bar is in hell. So Luca ends up basically interrogating Cal, asking about all his stuff. Like, what's your job? Do you have good benefits? Criminal record?
It gives very much mafia family dinner without it being mafia.
Yeah.
It's very much like
I think they even made a reference to that in there too.
Yeah, the grandmother runs the table, and like it's very mafia table vibes. So you kind of get that little bit of It
was really cute. Yeah,
I did enjoy that.
Yeah, they're all being like super protective, but they're happy, they accept him. And when she goes to leave, Mateo tells her he approves and she goes, oh, fuck my life. Because, I mean, that means they really, really like him. On the way home, she does ask what they are. And he says, as far as I'm concerned, you're mine. Cal does end up texting his dad, asking if he wants to have a call. And, it's baby steps and stuff like that. Because he doesn't really talk to his dad. Izzy is messaging Caleb. Because, like, they go back to her house. And she goes, hold on. Goes into her room, changes into a sexy outfit, texts Caleb about it, and shows Caleb the outfit. And so she thinks she's going to fuck him. Like, she thinks she's going to fuck Cal. And she comes out of her room, and he really wants to have sex with her, but he doesn't. Until he tells her the whole truth. She strips for him, and he makes her come really, really hard, and he distracts her from, like, actually fucking her. And it doesn't end up until the end where she realizes, wait, the fuck? He didn't fuck me. And then she rages. Then she rages, which honestly, I also would rage.
Like, raising me up and making like, and you don't want like, what's wrong with me?
They're
What's going
edging
on?
you. They edged you this whole book, Ariel.
I know.
But I honestly also would be pissed. And she says, "Listen, motherfucker," and he goes, "When I finally take you, you won't be able to walk the next day." But
So
I think
just
that's
fucking do it.
thank you. That is such a lame excuse. He's trying to tell her like, "I always need you. I always want you." Then fucking fuck me. And he's like, "You're gonna be begging for a break." Okay, let me beg. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, Cal does get an email from Ryan. It has all of the information for Evan, offshore LLC, financial records, employment history, and all this stuff about the man. And I was like, I thought we learned a lot of this earlier, but okay. We didn't learn everything, but we learned enough. He has an offshore account in the Cayman Islands. He ends up getting a phone call from his dad, and he talks about he has a girl in his life. It's just a cute little short conversation, but it is important to him because like they don't talk. Izzy tells him
Talk about it.
that she's very proud of him because she overheard it, and he ends up sleeping. And then at work, all of a sudden, they have all these multiple VIPs coming in, and it's like super fucking chaotic, and like all this crazy shit is happening, and she's going into this back room. Bitch gets kidnapped. She gets cornered and then kidnapped by two people. And Cal is distracted because he's handling another situation going on, and then he realizes, oh fuck, this was a distraction. Then he goes to find the cameras, sees her get kidnapped. The fuck? Turns out, by the way, it's Evan. Evan kidnapped her because he's the one who had been dating Izzy to get in with her so he could steal all of the things. He was stealing like things that they wouldn't really notice were gone, and like doing this whole thing. And he only stayed with her because she got the promotion, and he didn't even like her at all. Then fucking guess who's gonna go rescue her? Amanda and Cal. And fucking Amanda
Out of nowhere.
pulls out a pink gun.
He's like, you should just stay back. Like, I got
And she
this.
goes,
She's like,
"No, I am coming." Dude, this girl's such a badass. Like,
so I'm so interested in her, but I don't like the sound of her book. I have questions. I don't know.
So she launches herself at Evan, and this is my favorite description of her, like a fucking panther, and takes him down. They get him down, and then Cal is like trying to pull information from Evan by pretending he was kind of in on it, like, oh yeah, which I don't know how. Well, Evan's stupid, so I guess that's how he falls for it. But then he really gets angry because Evan threatens to murder fucking Izzy's entire family, and then he beats the living shit out of Evan. He doesn't kill him, and the only reason he doesn't kill him is because Izzy comes in and like breaks his rage. Cal ends up admitting that he was Caleb, and she goes, "Yeah, I know." That was really anticlimactic.
It was, but again, it was background the whole time. It was a very background to the Stalker AI story the whole time. Yeah. Which I was kind of okay with. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So she admits she knew the whole time. And she said she had an idea when the first time in their conversation, he called her Izzy because she hadn't put like all that information in there. So he called her Izzy immediately. But she just liked talking to Caleb, and her relationship with Caleb was so different than her relationship with Cal was. So she was fine with everything. I wouldn't be fine, by the way. I would have more questions.
She took it in stride, and I think, she had that inkling feeling, and I don't know. I think that should have been a little more drama, but I was okay.
Yeah. And yeah, then she admits that she's going to testify against Evan for the assault, and Amanda apparently hooking up with Chad the cop, and so Izzy and Cal admit they love each other. Cal finally actually fucks her, and it ends with the conversation of them at their wedding, and they're texting back and forth. The end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who's your favorite character?
So, I really did enjoy Amanda a lot, but I don't know, something about I can't get over. I'll bring up her book. Hold on.
Well, we're not here for her book, so it doesn't matter.
Maybe we are.
No, I'm saying we're not
but
focusing
I can
on
have an opinion. So the reason why I'm like, because I did enjoy her, but I'm wondering if she's going to flake out on me with hers, because hers is she has an ex-husband who disappeared, when it made it sound like in the beginning of the book that she like left him because he was junk and all that, you know what I mean? That she was like this champion like for women. You know, it made it sound like it was one thing. But I'm gonna read it when it comes out. It doesn't come out till August 4th. But I'm gonna say Cal is my favorite.
I'm still going with Amanda because I'm
Deserved
basing her
judgment.
personality off of this book and not the potential of her next book.
I'm putting all in. Plus, I really did like Cal.
I liked Cal too, but Amanda was one of my was my favorite. Who was your least favorite? Was it Evan? Was it all the VIPs?
Oh yeah.
Solid. Okay. Amazon gives us a 4.1. Storygraph is a 3.7. And Goodreads is a
3.81.
3.81.
I gave it 4.5. I really enjoyed the ride. I wouldn't call this a dark romance like I felt like it was marketed for.
No.
And the steam was minimal, but it was a very cute and fun book to read. Again, we had the issues with the texting that took me out of it a bit, but it was cute. I was here. I enjoyed the ride, and I'm kind of frustrated about all the like the 1 stars about all the AI, yeah.
Yeah. I gave it a 4. I struggled between a 3.5 and a 4, and it's only because I wish the drama that was involved was more drama than the really quick one, okay, we're
Gotcha.
done in like
See,
30
I was okay
seconds
with
kind
that.
of a thing. But it's funny because like certain stories you're not okay with, but I think it depends
on the story.
It depends on the story.
Yeah.
I felt like in this one I needed more
Gotcha.
of
And
that.
that's okay. I part of my rating goes into the fact that she didn't really have that much of a reaction without us seeing the behind the scenes of her thoughts. But as far as the drama in the background, I was kind of okay with that because they kept the pieces of as they went. It's for me, it's when they completely drop off and then pull it back up. That's the big problem. Or they make it that's the focal point and the romance drops off. You know what I mean? I was here for it.
Yeah, I think the thing is like because it was billed as a dark rom-com. Was it dark? Yeah.
I mean,
was it a rom-com? Yes, but it wasn't dark.
But I didn't feel like it was dark.
It was not dark.
Did I enjoy the book? Yes. Did I feel like it was everything was promised?
It was just
no.
Correct. Yeah. So I think like that's
I was here for the ride. I was in it. It was cute. I very much enjoyed like the family dinner. I enjoyed a lot of it. So that's why I gave it a 4.5. I had a great time. I was sitting here enjoying myself, but it wasn't what was promised, and there were a couple issues
mistakes.
For me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So.
I weirdly was okay with it. I wish I had the actual like stuff, but it was okay.
Yeah, that part. See, because here's the thing too, because so I haven't read Lights Out, but it says for fans of Lights Out, this is something that you would enjoy.
So I think people tend to see the for fans of and
but
think it's going to
when
be
people were
the same
given
vein.
recommendations for it, they said it was similar to Lights Out. What other people have
well, that's where I'm going with this.
Oh.
So I think people don't realize that, it's a similar vibe, similar vein. It's not the exact same, as we wouldn't want to read the exact same. And I do feel it does have a similar vibe. I feel like it's more of the rom-com side than just that little edgier side. But Lights Out was really rom-com-y too. So,
I haven't read it, so
right. But for me, I can see that. I can totally see that comparison. I can totally see that, people who enjoyed this would also enjoy this. Absolutely.
I would say I do want to say that this part of this someone has a 1-star review, but I just want to say that the first line is actually really funny. It says, "I would die for you, sir. You work as camera security for a department store. Sit down."
Okay.
I'm sorry, but that was funny.
Maybe, but also like
That's the only part
big
that was
guns
funny.
that got brought in to fix like a big
No.
trafficking.
I just thought it was funny. I don't really care about anything. I just thought it was hysterical.
It was
I thought that was really funny. But yeah, no, and like that's the thing is, so the other part is because it is like when it's categorized under dark romance. I don't think this was dark romance.
No, that's
at
what
all.
I'm saying. Like, so for me, and I was actually, I was just explaining this to Angie the other day because I was reading another book, and for me, especially when I'm not the one having to explain the story of a book, I'm not focusing on some of those minute details. I can just like enjoy the ride. And I tend to really get into some of these books because when we put them on the wheel and when they come up are two very different times. So by the time I read them, I have no idea what this book is about. I'm going in blind. So I don't always have those preconditioned expectations. So I'm able to just enjoy the ride. So sometimes that ends up having me enjoy things a little more than, oh, this is what I was expecting. This is what the setup was. And I was explaining that because remember when everyone was obsessed with, is it Bryn Weaver that did that book that a lot of people compare to Lights Out?
Is it compared to Lights Out?
They do. It's like the dark rom-com.
I like the Bryn Weaver books, The Butcher and the Blackbird.
The Butcher and Blackbird, yes. They were hyped up so much, so much, to the fact that when I went into it, I already had preconceived notions of what this book was about. And I was expecting like an edgier, dark romance, but rom-com-y. And where it was more rom-com-y than I was expecting, it didn't quite hit that mark for me. But when I was able to almost right after going into Taming Seraphine, and I went in almost blind because I didn't have all those buildups, I was able to enjoy that one so much more because it was more of what I was looking for. So
I think
it just depends on how you go into it.
Well, so that's what I was going to say. I think that, so sometimes, because I've noticed it when we discuss books a lot too, sometimes if we go in with a preconceived notion, that's why I said like a little bit more critical on the books that you're doing, because it is like, we're expecting it to be this. So when it's not that, we're like, but it was supposed to be this, and then we're kind of like a little bit more critical on it.
And when I'm going to talk about it, I'll do a little bit more research on it. I'll want to like
right. So that's why I'm being a little bit harsher and a little bit more critical this time.
And totally is within your right.
Where like normally it would be you being like, okay, but it's supposed to be dark and it's not dark, and then this didn't happen. So like
I'm frustrated about that. Absolutely, but
it didn't affect your.
It didn't affect my time because I didn't really think about that going in. It was more when I went to rate it afterwards, and I was like, oh, it was that. It was like, oh, I forgot what this was. So
almost like I forgot the secondary plot of the book. Sorry.
What about spice rating? I'm honestly gonna call it a poblano and a half, maybe.
Yeah,
it had potential.
It had potential, but we didn't really get the on page that we want.
No.
Here's the thing too, because I think I saw like people like talked about it being spicy. I'm like, where?
And
90% of the way through is
honestly.
when that is true. That is true. Even our like spice thing that we do is still a little bit more
absolutely subjective, but that's why we had changed it to like now we're writing out exactly like what I mean. So it's a little bit easier for us.
But even that's still subjective to us as a people. But yeah, so I'll agree. It was not a one-handed read for me. It's so frustrating because like I wanted it to be.
It had potential, right? I wanted it to be right.
I'm still a no.
It definitely had potential.
I'd survive.
I would also survive, probably happily.
Yeah, and we don't have to spin a wheel because next week is our end of month review. End of month. We're not reviewing ourselves. we should never do that. No, let's not. Let's not. No, it's just our end of month thing. Which crazy that that's coming up so quickly. It does feel like sometimes this year's flying by. We're already at the end of July.
Yeah.
The fuck did that happen? Because here's the thing.
Which
we get one more month. We get one more month.
It does come out August 4th.
There you go. We get one more month of us doing our own books. And then we take a month off. And then it's holiday.
holiday.
which is crazy.
It's great.
I'm not gonna lie. The holiday season is probably one of my favorite seasons of doing this podcast.
It can be, but it's
Nothing
so back and
is going
forth
to
for me
top.
because I do very much enjoy them, but on the flip side, I miss doing like our regular stuff when we're knee deep. But then when we're knee deep in the regular stuff, I do. It's grass is always greener.
Yeah. Listen, nothing. I don't know. I was gonna say nothing could top the turkey in the ball sack.
Basted.
But I think
what about the basted?
I was
babies?
literally so you didn't let me finish my thought. But basted took the cake this last time. Jesus fucking Christ!
Ugh.
If anybody has recommendations for any holiday,
Ooh, yeah.
Halloween,
Send them.
Thanksgiving, or Christmas,
Or any
please send them.
any holidays within October, November, and
December, because I
December.
think sometimes December we'll split up the different holidays.
We will, which we
did-
try.
We did Hanukkah.
Last year we did a lot of
Kwanzaa,
Santa,
Christmas,
but
we try to switch it up. But yeah, literally anything sounds great. DM us, email us,
even if it's like
comment. I don't even give a
even
shit.
if it's-
Comment.
even if it's some kind of made up holiday for like aliens or something in the middle of November.
Bitch,
Totally okay.
we did an alien Hanukkah one. Okay, like
Oh yeah, that was
he was
funny.
a blue alien.
Yeah, no, seriously, we always like holiday recs, so
Yeah.
keep them coming.
Yes, please.
Join us next week for our monthly chat, and make sure to keep reading.
And keep it smutty. And of course, Kelly is pissed. And Kelly, who the fuck is Kelly?
Oh my god, her name just flew out of my brain.
Is he?
Yes. No, the main character.
Is he?
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah.
Oh my god. Did we do stuff? Like what the fuck happened? No, they didn't.
Did we do?
Did we do stuff? I was gonna say and keep coming.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.